Hey guys, Preston here. It's been a long time since I made any videos, but yep, so I'm going on this trip with Jimmy over here. We're up at the cabin now. Tomorrow morning we're hiking out, and yeah, I just wanted to make a video to show what I'm bringing, and I'll try to keep it short and simple and sweet, so that's the best way we can do a gear video. Alright, so first off, I have my Bark River Aurora right here. And then here I have my pack. And I'm not going to talk too much about the details of what brand everything is or how much everything costs or all that jazz, but just run down what I've got. I've got a pack. So in that pack I have a quilt. It's going to be a low of 70 degrees, and this is 15 degree quilt, but it's going to be breezy, so I'm bringing it, and since it's a quilt it can open up just kind of like a blanket, and I can just kind of lay it over my hammock just to give me a little bit of insulation if it gets a little chilly. Right here I've got my change clothes, so change of underwear, socks, and a t-shirt, and then I've got 8 meat bars and 6 packs of oatmeal. And the point of the trip is to try to hunt for our food, but I've got enough food to get me through if hunting's unsuccessful, but we want to try hunting. So anyway, and then here I've got my hammock and straps and bug net for my sleeping setup. There's kissing bugs out in these woods nowadays, and you gotta watch out for those, so bring the bug net with the hammock. And it's just a small single nester. Alright, here I have my bush pot, and I also have a little grill piece right here, and that can just set inside of it like this. You can put your lid on there, kind of fits on there, friction fit, and you use it like an oven. So for cooking food and whatnot. I may or may not try that out. But anyway, bush pot. .64-ounce water bottle right here. It's a stainless steel single wall. I have my paracord, and that's just about 5 or 6 foot lengths, and a quick deploy ridgeline in this bag. And here I have my tarp. It's just an AquaQuest 10x7 tarp. Eventually I'll trade it out for a 10x10 whenever I get it in the mail, but for now I've got the 10x7, and it'll do the job. This is just like a net gator, and the reason I've got this is just to cover up this pot when it's filthy and nasty, so I don't get stinky, nasty soot all over my other gear. And then there's my saw. It's a Silky Gomboy 270. Gransford Brooks Wildlife hatchet with a little holster loop right here, so I can just hang that off my belt when I'm hiking around. And that's everything that's in that pack. Then we have the satchel, just a Polish bread bag. I've got in this, I have a pair of gloves. I have a nesting cup. It's about 16 ounces. A little lid for that nesting cup. So there. And I have a water bottle. And it's just 32-ounce leather. I think it's called a Boda bag, right? Yeah. So a Boda bag. So that puts me at 96 ounces of water for the trip. And I have my Bible and pen in there. Fire kit, and this is it's got tarp cloth, flint and steel, ferro rod, and then a bearing for doing a bow drill. some bank line right here. This first aid kit. It's got its really bandage and some cell locks. I mean, if say you got shot, you know, this kit will cover that. You know, if you put a hatchet into your leg, this kit will cover you there. So, that, I learned my lesson when I put the hatchet in my leg. It's kind of a close call. Could have been worse, but that made me carry a first aid kit now. And then inside here I also have a snack, just an extra meat bar and an extra pack of oatmeal. 7 bird shot, 20 gauge. 2 slugs. Flashlight, and there's 2 extra batteries for it. I don't plan on doing much at nighttime, but it'd be useful to have that for sure. Also have a hunting license and my game cleaning kit, and that's just a few pairs of rubber gloves and small game cleaning knife. This one's just not for woodworking, so I can keep that sharper for cutting through squirrel and whatnot. And lastly is my Rossi youth model 20 gauge shotgun. First shotgun I ever shot. Packs quite a punch. And being a youth model, it's got a shorter barrel, shorter stock. It's lighter weight. It only weighs 4.5 pounds. Doesn't add much to the kit. As far as that goes, I've got my leather sling on there. So, yep, good to rock and roll. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm bringing. We're going out to a place tomorrow morning. We're gonna hike about 2 miles to get there. There may be a natural spring out there that's running, or it may be dried up and gone. I don't know. So that's why I brought enough water to get me through. The hunting may be good, or we may not find anything, so that's why I brought enough food to get me through the 3 days, 2 nights. But yeah, gonna try to bring you along for the ride, get some video while we're out there doing stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun trip. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless. Alrighty, so me and Jimmy found our campsites. This one here is mine. Got these trees right over here. This one, I'm gonna go to that tree right there. Have my hammock hung right through there. Drop off my, or tie off my tarp on each side. I've got some trees bordering around. Maybe I could kind of put something kind of around the edges of this area. But I don't know, we'll see. And then right here, where I've kind of stirred up this ground here, it's where my campfire is gonna go, just between these trees right here. And put my campfire there so it's far enough away from my hammock that I don't have embers coming up and getting on me. It's nice and warm out here, so I don't need the fire for warmth, just mainly for cooking. But I'm gonna go ahead and build a fire and start just burning some of the trashy, you know, sticks and pieces of wood that are just laying around everywhere. But yeah, here it is. Home sweet home. Cut my hand on my saw, of all things. Stupid. Alright, so I got a little fire rolling just to keep the coals alive. Cut on my finger wasn't too bad, so I just put a bandage on there and called it good. I drank a lot of water today. That hike in and the heat was kind of killer, so probably drank about 64 of my 96 ounces of water just in the first day. Thirst is quenched, but gonna need more water than that. So I'm gonna go down and collect some water, and I'm just gonna use the shirt to kind of strain out any of the stuff that's in there. I'm gonna boil it, and that's gonna separate out some more stuff, and then I'll strain out some more with a different part of the shirt as I pour it into my water bottle over there. And then also I've got this little system set up. It's a little Y branch right here, so I can hang my pot like so. And the reason I've got this set up this way is because I can take one of these little loops here, I can slide it like that. And I can adjust the height and the positioning of my cup. I just gotta stop it from swinging after I do that. That should hang good there while I build the fire up underneath it and boil some water. So anyway, we're gonna go over and put some water now. Alright, finished up with that water. Made a little cup here. Gonna make some hot cocoa. And there's the rest of it. Look how clear that water is. Just good, clean water. So we're good to go. I will admit, it was pretty nasty though at the source. Mainly stagnant, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, I'm going to bed now. Right here. Jimmy's still got his deal rolling over there, but he'll be going to bed soon too. So anyway, night guys. Hey guys, just went out hunting. Got myself a squirrel for breakfast here. Only took maybe an hour and a half to find him, and 20 gauge took good care of him. So time to make some breakfast. Alright, I accidentally left them on there too long, so they're a little overcooked, but they will be safe to eat for sure. The sucky thing about squirrels is they don't provide very much meat at all, but it's something, so we'll be thankful for that. Alrighty, unfortunately our trip had to be cut short. I just wanted to share a quick explanation for that, just tell the story real fast. So we got out there, and about 3 hours into it, Jimmy was saying, you know, man, I don't know how I feel about this water source. We might have to head home, you know. And the water source, it was pretty stagnant. You know, the spring wasn't really flowing anymore because it's been so dry, and yeah, it wasn't the very best. It was maybe like 4 inches deep though, in the deepest spot. You know, 5 foot wide, 10 feet long, and I told Jimmy to go get some water because, you know, he was getting dehydrated, and so he went over and boiled some water, and it had some nasty stuff in there. And I was like, I don't know about that. I wouldn't drink that water either. So I went over there, and what I did is I strained it through my shirt on the way into my bush pot, and then I boiled it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in that range, because I want to be extra safe, because it's, you know, probably got a lot of nasties in that water since it was so stagnant. and then I strained it through my shirt on the way out just to get whatever else was left. After I had let the water cool completely, and the sediment all dropped out of the water, and then it was pretty clean. It tasted good. So I showed Jimmy that method, and voila, we're both getting good water. So that was all right. But then a few hours later, Jimmy comes over, and this time he just says, "Man, I just kind of, I'm feeling a little weird." And I'm like, "Are you sick or something?" You know, because coronavirus is going around, and don't want to take any chances with that. You know, don't want someone getting sick in the woods like that. And he's like, "No, I'm just feeling weird mentally." And I'm like, mentally feeling weird. That doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm like, well, you know, suck it up, basically. I didn't really give him much attention. I didn't give it much attention at all. So we continued through the night. Next morning, though, or next day, he came over to my camp again, and he's just like, "Man, I've just been feeling weird this whole trip, you know. I just don't feel the best." And I asked, like, "Again, you feeling sick or anything?" He's like, "No, just, you know, not feeling right mentally and whatnot, off my game or something like that." You know, and he's just like, "I just think maybe this kind of trip isn't really my thing." You know, so I was like, "All right," you know, and I was a little disappointed. I didn't want to go because I was his ride. So if he's leaving, I gotta leave too. But he's like, "Yeah, I." So anyway, I kind of thought about it for a couple hours, and then I came back over to his camp, and I'm like, "Well, you know, if you're not feeling good, man, it's your call. You know, it's up to you. I'm not gonna make you stay out here." And there's really no point in making somebody stay out in the woods with you who's not having a good time, because then they're not gonna be having a good time. You're not gonna have a good time because of them, and it's just not gonna be a fun trip. It's not gonna be worth the stay. So I just left it in his hands, and he's like, "All right, well, thanks, man. So we'll go ahead and leave." So we left. So yeah, that's the story with that. But anyway, to tell you my experience on the trip, I had a good time. It was a good trip for me, just testing out my kit a little bit. I didn't need the quilt. I brought the quilt, but it was really, really humid, you know. And when I went out camping with my boy Jacob, it was about 69, 68 degrees. The week before, I got kind of chilly in the middle of the night, but it was really dry. It was like 20% humidity, maybe 15%. Well, it was, you know, 90% humidity on this trip. So I did not need it. It's just taking up space. So, yeah, I kind of know what to look for a little bit better. I know myself a little bit better because of that, you know. So it was a good lesson there. As far as my kit goes, I was thinking, and I was like, well, I kind of want to change something about my water bottle setup, because I have that leather Bota bag and a 64-ounce Pathfinder water bottle. And that 64-ounce water bottle does not nest with my metal nesting cup. So I have to throw that in my pack, and then I take the leather water bottle and put that kind of inside of my nesting cup a little bit into my satchel. You know, but it's difficult to pull that out, and, you know, just, you can't boil water in the leather water bottle. It's got a very narrow top on it, so it's very hard to pour water from a bigger water bottle into that, or from the bush pot into that, especially while you're trying to strain it. So, and then, you know, the boiling hot water, if you pour it in there, it'll kind of like melt and bleed the plastic into your water, and just wasn't a good setup. And then the 64-ounce water bottle just takes up a bunch of space in your pack, and it's awkward in there. It doesn't really fit well with anything. So I changed my setup, and I ditched those two water bottles, and this is what I got now. So these are just some clean canteens, and this is the 40-ounce and the 27-ounce. So I'm carrying less water overall, but the way I see it, I just need the water to get me through the hike or through the day, you know, the majority of the day. If I have to boil water once or twice each day, that's fine. You know, so I don't need to carry a bunch of water in, because I'm going to a place as a water source. And even if I carry 30 more ounces of water, that still doesn't really help you through a whole entire another day or two when you're camping out in the woods if you're bringing all your water. So yeah, these are more than suitable enough for me. And then also, that just nests with the cup, right? And then this nice thin long one can go into my pack, and that takes up a whole lot less space. It'll fit much better. So I got that set up instead, and I hope that'll serve me well. That's about the only update I really thought about making to my kit. I had a couple other ideas, like maybe not bringing the extra knife for processing game with, but rather just giving my knife a real good sharpening before I go, and using it sparingly. Use the hatchet whenever I can instead of the knife to kind of preserve its edge. And that'll save a little bit of weight there too. And there are other things you can do and change, but anyway, I learned a little bit, and the only change I did as far as gear was that water bottle setup. So yeah, I just wanted to, share that. But it was a good trip. I enjoyed the time out there. I went squirrel hunting in the morning after sleeping out that night, and got a squirrel. So I was real thrilled with that. I mean, it only took about an hour. And maybe an hour 15 minutes. I looked for a squirrel for over an hour and I couldn't find one, and I just sat down, sent up a quick prayer for a squirrel, and 4 minutes later, there goes a squirrel right there, and I'm just like, oh man, pow, with my shotgun, and got myself a good breakfast. And I overcooked it, which was really like chewing on a salted Ranger band. That's about how that squirrel was. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed my time out there, the hike. I got to watch the sunrise out there. I slept really good in my hammock and underneath that tarp. It was really comfortable. So it was just a nice trip altogether. And I'm looking forward to get out there and go a little longer and do a little bit more, and have just a longer stay. And my favorite thing of all going on a trip like that is just time out in the woods, and removing myself from the world, and just making myself, opening up myself to the Lord more, by taking away all these distractions. We've got coronavirus going on, we got riots about all kinds of BS, you got just garbage. The whole world is garbage, and it's just falling apart all the time. It's getting to retreat from that and stay out there for a night or 2 nights, hopefully, or 3 nights. Like that. That's just great, and it opens you up a little bit for God to just step in and bring you peace. So that's what I love most about being out there. Anyway, though, it was a good trip. I really enjoyed it, and it's a little bummer we had to leave early, but don't feel bad, Jimmy. I mean, it's good for us to figure out ourselves while we're out there, and learn. Let the woods teach you where your comfort's at, what you want to bring, and every trip is an experience. So it's always a good experience. But anyway, yeah, just want to kind of make this short little clip here at the end to kind of talk about the trip a little bit and how it was and what happened. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I know this was a little bit of a longer one, but thanks for making it through if you did, and have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless.